It's another week, and I am so grateful that you are back here on To Listen and to Learn. Hi, guys, you're welcome to the Wartsandall podcast with me, Michelle Ejukum. Now, there's this thing that I'm sure you have also observed. Usually, people tend to change, after a few months into a new relationship. Some people actually take less than 6 months, 3 months, it depends. But I'm sure, just like I keep asking myself, what is causing the change? Why do they change? Is it that their initial intentions were different from now? Or is it that they had high expectations and they're not meeting them? Well, that is our topic for discussion today. And I have my main man, my colleague, my friend. We fight, but yeah. So if you're a lover of Joy FM and you listen, in fact, if you're a lover of Overdrive on Joy FM, I'm sure you know the man. My name is Kofi Hayford. No, not my name. I mean, his name is Kofi Hayford.
What's up, girl?
Yeah, cool. And no, I didn't add this. So he's the pot-bellied also in the BMPS show on Joy Prime. And like, look at his belly. Oh, he says his pot belly. Actually, it was bigger than this, but
yeah, it's a sexy
Yeah.
pot belly. Yeah.
But how are you doing?
I'm okay.
I've been chasing Kofi since.
Oh, are you sure?
But I've been asking you, Charlie, come and let's do like, oh yeah. He's a very busy man, so like, yeah. I'm glad that he took time off today to join us.
Yeah,
for
it's
this.
a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. But even before we came on at work, I asked you, I'm like, why? Because me, I'm a leader. Obviously, I tag the men.
Yeah.
Why is it that you guys change? Why is it like that? But I can't pin it down on just men. Even some women also do change. But I do that sometimes.
Exactly.
But we have different reasons
Yeah.
why we do that. So today we want to explore those reasons and see maybe if there are ways you can actually save yourself from those things. I don't know. But let's just start our conversation by asking, what exactly is it? What is wrong with everybody? Because everybody keeps changing.
I don't know if it's the perfect question to ask. And by that I mean, what is wrong with everybody? I don't think
Not
that's-
everybody actually
Yeah.
does that.
Yeah, that's what
But
I'm
a lot
saying.
of people do it.
Yeah, a lot of people change. But I think, like you rightly said, there are various reasons, from some of the things that you mentioned,
The
having high
expectations.
expectations, from that to your tastes changing, to your mind and your heart having conversations and asking yourself if this is what you really want. I think it all depends on the person. I don't know if I can put my points one after the other, but let's try. I think that it's very exciting when you're trying to know someone, when prior to, even having the first conversation. So you meet this person, you get to know them just a little, and you think you want to be with them, right? Now, after a couple of months, I'm sure things are not going to be exactly the same, especially for men. Even before you have the first conversation with the lady, you want to impress. You want to be that funny guy. Well, not for every guy though, but yeah, you want to be that funny guy. You want to make sure she's happy, because there's one thing that women always like. They want to be happy around you. They want to be that woman or that girl or that lady that would laugh around you. So your ability to make her laugh all the time is a plus. Even if it's not all the women, some of them, right? So that's one thing that you would pay attention to. There are other people that are also impressed by cash, gifts. There are others that are impressed by a number of calls. There are others that are impressed by even how you talk. There's something about you that they like. So once you, the guy, are able to identify what it is that impresses the lady, you make sure that you repeat whatever it is that you do. Now, you have a goal. And that goal is to win the person. Now, when you win the person, chances are that if it is true love, then you maintain whatever it is that you were doing, because you really want to have this person smile the entire time you are with them. If it is not true love and there are ulterior motives, like you just came in for the sex, like whether you wanted a one night stand,
Which a lot of men do. And they
well,
don't even
which a lot
say
of
the truth
which a lot
it.
of people do, because I know women that will smash once and leave you. If you want me to mention names, I know
Don't they come and tell you that that's all I'm looking for?
that they don't tell you. There are girls that will come up to your DM and tell you that I want to smash you once. I have a lot of those in my inbox.
But I mean,
That's-
they're being honest.
It's because they are women. For a guy, when you say that, they would definitely tell you that you are sexually objectifying the woman. When a woman does it, it's not really described as sexually objectifying a man.
Man.
We rather consider it as being bold. We say, oh, this girl, she get vim.
Yeah.
You are being bold about it. And then also there is this, it's not necessarily a perception, but it's a feeling. For me, for example, I think I've said this on other platforms, that when a woman comes up to you, to me, to propose, it's not like I would accept every woman, but it's very difficult to say an outright no. Because in our part of the world, women hardly propose to men.
Yeah.
So for a woman to be very straightforward, come to you and say, I want you, I like you, I want to date you, Charlie, you have to cut her some slack. She's bold. You have to respect that. So even if you are not into it, there is a way that you have to handle it too. You don't just reject the person just like that. So yeah, but that's not the main topic. So I was coming to that. So now, if you are with the person and you've already gotten what you want, which is ultimately the sex. That is, if it is not true love, ultimately the sex. Maybe you saw the physique, you saw her body, there was something about her that you liked. Now you've gotten the sex, so what else?
Right, before we continue with our conversation, I actually put this on my Facebook page. Usually I like to gather the thoughts of my followers as well. So I posted, I was like, here's what's on my mind. Why do people sometimes change after some few weeks into a new relationship? Or better still, pretend in the first stage of relationships? Share your thoughts. Paragraphs, I tell you. So someone says, this is from Jason Brown. He says, you have the right to change your mind on what you probably didn't think twice on. You have to understand that relationship can be boring or ill. People have been married for 25 years and one day they wake up and say divorce. Look for a soulmate. Make sure you like his dress sense, like his
Fashion
sense, to his sense of humor and what they want out of life. Remember, life is a journey, but some hold on to life so much tight. What is this? Tight. Their relationships can be prison. Then he says, explore before, 1 foot in until you have things in common. I met girls in my life that I could say, I want you for life. How? But I don't understand. I can picture their old age, how our kids will look, how she will speak to our kids or me. What type of salary to live on? Hey.
That's interesting. That's a wild imagination.
Then someone also says, well, it's actually the real character they are portraying now. They try to hide to impress, but soon reality sets in and their real nature is unraveled. Both parties tend to overlook certain details during the start of a new relationship, and so they do not pay attention, but as they get to know each other better, their mask falls and real nature is unveiled. Then another person, this is from a lady, she says, people change when their initial intentions are not genuine. Some are just devils looking to steal, kill, and destroy. Hey, my gender. The men did not say that we want to destroy them, but I think they all make sense. The other time I was telling Aram and Ken, we were having a conversation on intimacy and communication. I was saying that the moment a guy comes to me and tell me I like you, I don't just look at you right now. I try to picture in the next 5 years. But that's actually after we've had the conversation, because I usually want to know what your plans are.
Right.
Then I want to imagine, okay, so if those things don't happen, and I also look at my plans for myself within that next 5 years, am I sure that if you haven't gotten to where you want to, and I have gotten there, am I sure I'll still want to mingle with you?
Right.
Or maybe if you have gotten and I haven't, would you be comfortable with me? And then I want to look at, what did you fall sick? Or maybe those nice abs, you lose
they're
them.
gone.
Or would I still want to be there? Because all of those things cause the change. It's not just about me wanting sex. Someone can actually come with a true intention. But, especially with men, work can even cause you to change your way of communication. A lot of things happen.
Yeah, I mean, not to cut you, but you see, so these things that you're mentioning are long-term stuff. Like you said, you picture the person in the next 5 years. But I think your question on board, which we're
No, but
discussing,
I mean, it's actually, you don't go into a relationship and say that I want to be in a relationship for 2 years and get out.
Yeah.
Obviously, the moment you start, you want to move further with it. But even long term, no. Some people's long term is 1 month, 2 months.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's really crazy. Then it means they were just in for the sex, or they were just in for a very short period, just to experience you and go. If you're looking to have something, not necessarily permanent, but meaningful, it's the word, with someone over a period of time, well, it's good to. I have never imagined what a woman would be like in 5 years. I don't think I think about those things.
I do, because I want to be sure that even if you look like that, would I still love you?
Yeah, but then the thing is, you, the one checking out if the person would look like that in 5 years, can also lose the things that you have.
Exactly.
Like, you're very beautiful, right?
Exactly.
I mean, anything can happen, and you can lose like a good part of your body, and then what happens? So, but. So a lot of the comments, I think one of the ladies said that people don't really want to be honest with themselves. They are devils and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I also think sometimes it's dependent on the things that you find out about the person. So let's not only say people come in for the sex, and once they get the sex. I mean, I know I said that, but if you're looking at it from a different perspective, you also find out things about people once you are in a relationship with them.
Yeah.
So we meet, we talk, you are being all gentle, we go dining, you're being all gentle. That's when you employ your, culinary, your what do they call it?
Culinary skills.
Not even that. What do they call it?
Table etiquette.
Etiquettes, right?
Right.
So you employ all of them because you've learned them. You fix your napkins and eat very well. Have very nice conversations. Those are just within the first few weeks or months that you're meeting. Then finally, when you get comfortable with each other, that's when you're going to experience the real people.
Because at the time, you're comfortable saying your true feelings.
Yes. And even without saying, like, now you're eating at home, and the same guy who was, exhibiting excellent table etiquette is eating like Crasini, you understand? So then it becomes a put off. For example, I am easily put off. Yeah, and so I'm very, very careful about whom I'm drawing close to me. I'm easily put off by quite a number of things. Like, if you don't know how to, eat well by the table, Charlie, we're going to have a problem, because I want to be able to go out with you and feel confident that my woman or my girlfriend is civilized. You understand? So if such a thing can put me off, and perhaps I'll talk to you and you still don't find the need to do something about it, eventually I have to bounce.
Right.
It's not the only thing. There are other things that also come into play. Sometimes even the way they think
begins to change.
you understand. So I think apart from people coming in with the intention of having sex or having fun, let's not just say sex, fun. Apart from that, there are also things that you find out about the person in the first few months or weeks that would make you rethink everything and ask yourself, Charlie, really, is this person like this? Really, like, am I sure I want to be with the person? And then you change.
So then don't you think we have to take our time in getting into a relationship?
I think, obviously, that's a basic thing. Everyone has to. But you see, the
People
excitement
can
is one thing.
pretend for a while.
Yes. I mean, Charlie, as for pretending,
Let me just share this funny experience.
do.
I just hope he's married now, but
You hope he doesn't watch. He should watch.
So there's this guy I met way back in uni, and I mean he completed the year I went into level 100. So this guy was on my tail, and he was trying to prove that like he can take care of me, like he can solve me. And like uni girls, Charlie, what do I have? Like, oh, this is my house, this is my car. So this guy had been on my tail for a while, and like he's this short guy. I'm like, well, I'm not the type that looks at the height and all of those things, but I just didn't like him because I felt he was too known. Like,
Okay.
he was full of himself, like trying to show off that you have this, you have that, and so what? So I wasn't even minding him. Then we met again. Then I think at the time I was nicer because I'm living in this.
Yeah, hostel.
We exchanged contacts. We started talking. He took me out one time. Started having conversations here and there. Then I was like, okay, let me just try and see. Maybe it will work because at the time I was single. Why not? He seemed like a nice person. Then I happened to spend a night with this guy. This guy was worrying me. Not like I wanted to have sex with you. We went out. It was late, so we decided to just let's sleep over because it was closer to his place. Only for this man or this young boy to undress, and it was just this tiny.
Oh my, really?
Coffee. No, I was like, no. This is not what I bargained for.
Oh.
No, I mean,
Was it wrecked?
Yes.
And it was still small.
That was a put up for me.
Okay.
So you see, in this case, it's not like I came in that, I had like an intention.
So did you do that night?
Oh, I mean.
Did you?
I said it was a put up. I actually told
you
him.
Didn't? Oh, but that was very unfair.
No, you see, you can't allow me,
But why did he show
have
it
that
to you
excitement.
though? Why did he show it to you?
But we are doing things like foreplay and tunes and things are going on and all of that.
He don't be smart guy. He don't be smart guy. I mean, why? Come on. And why were you also thinking about that? Because I know a lot of women wouldn't really check the size on the first night. Because you are so much into like the entire thing. And so that was a put up for you. Yeah, so like I was saying, I think there are quite a number of things that would, put people off about. For example, I think we're having that conversation right now. I was asking Patrick if he had heard my phone ring before. I don't like calls. I am a very fast texter, and I prefer text to calls because when the kind of job that we do, when I'm texting, I can at the same time, I can be on radio and be texting you. I can be on TV, have conversations like this. When you are having your turn to talk, I can text you. So texting allows me to multitask. So I love texting. And you see, we use the internet quite often. And so when you are texting, it gives you that opportunity to do other things on other apps. But once you call me, the phone has to go to my ear and every other thing has to cease.
Yeah.
So I don't like calls. And besides, this a free night call thing that we used to do. I wasn't a fan of it. I don't like calls. I don't want to talk for more than 3 minutes. Like the farthest has to be like 5-10 minutes, right? Unless maybe it's some very important conversation. So if I meet you and we text, and after 3 or 6 months, you feel like now because we are like together, you want to switch to calls. And I don't want calls, and you are always calling me. It put me off. As basic as that. Some people might even call it trivial, but I don't like calls, and I'll make sure that I'll tell you that I don't like calls. And many of the ladies or even many of the men would agree to your terms when they want you or when they are excited about going to be with you. But now, after a certain period of time, they tend to forget everything you told them. And then when you express your displeasure, then they say you have changed. But I don't think that is fair because you knew the things that I told you I didn't like and you agreed to them. But now after some time, you want to turn me into what I am not.
It's like trying to change somebody. And you see, I think that is where we get it wrong. Oftentimes we think that, oh, you should be able to adjust, or maybe, we've gotten to this stage of the relationship. But then the farther you go, the harder it becomes. And every relationship, the first stage of every relationship is so sweet, all lovey-dovey and all of that.
Is.
Just like you said, that's where, everybody shows their best self.
Yeah.
But as it moves
but you see,
on,
it won't be like, I think one thing we must very honest with each other. Look, a relationship will not stay the same.
but I think
It
that
won't be the same.
there are certain things when you start with, you should be able to go through with it.
Like what?
So, for instance, you said you don't like calls.
I don't.
So then you should start You should start it from day one.
Yeah,
you should keep texting.
I'll make sure I'll tell you.
Yes, and if the person still does not understand, then that person was not being true to herself.
You have to go.
Because if you agreed to it, then why are you complaining now? And some things I think some men also make or do wrong is, you have a very busy schedule. But in the first few months of the relationship, you make me believe
that you have the time.
Not that you have the time, that you can actually make time for me. Though you are extremely busy. So now when we get into 4 or 5 months and you start giving me, I'm busy, and you don't even call, you don't text.
Yeah, but now you're in my camp.
That is my problem. That is my problem.
There is a cheap proverb. It's a street proverb, but I don't understand. You see, when will be your shegu your son? I've forgotten. I've been trying to remember for some minutes now, but yeah. They say when will be or win elections be or campaign.
Or campaign, yeah.
No
campaign after elections.
Yeah, no.
No, but no. This is a relationship. Look, it's something you are working.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. If I tell you that I'm going to do free education, for example. Look, if Kim Promise tells you that he wants to do free education, right? And so you vote for Kim Promise. And Kim Promise comes and he does the free education, but the free education affects every other part of the economy. Or almost all other parts take a nosedive. Are you going to be happy? So, do you understand? And Kim Promise will not campaign and say that vote for me and I'll do A and B and C for you, because already you have voted for Kim Promise. So whatever Kim Promise gives you, you have to take it, or you have to wait till Kim Promise's term is over and you eject him. I think that is what people think when it comes to relationships as well. But I think that is very unfair.
No, it is. It is really, really unfair. So like a guy starts, wooing you, and once a while he buys you flowers, he buys you gifts, and you're like, it's not like he does it every single day, but once a while he does it. Now you get into 1 year relationship, moving into you've been together for a while. Maybe your first 6 months he was doing that. Now what happens? He stops.
He didn't really love you. In my submission, in my initial submission, I mentioned, I said there are two things. It's either the person really loves you, or the person is in for something that is beneficial to them.
No, but don't you think that even if the person really loved you, there are times where some things they probably started could now become tiring to do?
Yes, and that is why you need to evolve. You can't do the same things over and over again.
But even when it gets to the point where you think, this is it and I need to evolve, don't you sit to have that conversation with your partner?
Well, if I understand you, yes, sometimes you can.
You can, especially when
or you don't, but you just have to try another thing and see if it works.
No, but in some cases,
no, because
I
if I
think you
want,
need
because
to
when we
sit.
start, because yes, I agree, but I'm saying at other times too, you don't necessarily have to have a sit down conversation. Because when we met, I started buying you flowers. I didn't ask you. We didn't have a conversation about me buying you flowers. I just tried it. I bought you a bouquet of flowers, and you loved it. So then I realized, oh, you love flowers. So I keep buying flowers. So if now buying you flowers has become boring for me and has become boring for you, the recipient, then I have to try buying chocolates.
No, but what about the point where it has become boring for you, the buyer, and not me, the recipient?
Does the recipient still want the flowers?
Yeah, but
Then-
you don't do it anymore. And you
Then,
give me
then the buyer
excuses of
needs to keep buying it.
That is what I'm saying.
And you're saying that you don't understand when they stop it.
Why do no? So because every time you buy it, I'm sure you get a reaction, or you get words of appreciation.
Charlie,
that I
to
really
be very
like
honest,
this, or
I
what-
think the bottom line is you really need to love someone to want to do the same things for them over and over again, or even evolve or try new things. I think the bottom line is love. If you don't really love someone,
But even love, you work it, and all these little things are acts of love that you keep working.
yes, but for me, in my opinion, if you really love someone, how they react to even how good you treat them does not matter. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Like, I do this stuff for you, and your reaction,
It's like, what is this?
Yeah.
But you keep doing it.
but I see that what I do, you love it. It's just that you don't want me to feel good about me buying stuff for you.
Right.
I will still do it because guess what? I'm not doing it because you want me to do it. I'm doing it because I want to do
want
it.
to.
And I feel like you like what I am doing. So I will do it for you. Until it gets to a point where I think, okay, it is enough. Because like we always say, you have to be wise enough to be able to know when to say it's okay.
Over. Oh, it's okay. I'm done.
You get it? Because if that's not the case, then why are you wasting your time?
So then let's take it from the angle where you realize that your partner's attitude or behavior is beginning to change, and you are always at the receiving end. How do you even get them? Some people actually evolve without noticing that this is.
Yeah, it's true.
How do you prompt someone like that?
You just tell them.
But how?
Charlie, what's the sound?
Just like that. Just like that.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you find like a nice way of saying it? Just
Nice.
so you don't.
The thing you do, I know they like. What's nice about that? I'm not saying be rude or be, disrespectful. But Michelle, we need to have a sit down. We need to talk. There's this thing that you're doing. I don't think I really like it, to be honest. I'm sorry, but let me be very blunt. Look, these shoes that you've been wearing, and when you come home, the way you pull it, I don't like it. I'm sorry. You really have to do something about it for me. If I don't love you, I'm not going to talk about it.
Sure.
So please make sure that you can change. That's it. Will say, no, that's not. Look, you're not being true to yourself because you don't like it. So you have to be able to talk about it.
So let's talk about the deceivers. How do I realize that this person is not being true?
Like
The person's not being truthful to you.
Can you give me an instance, for example?
So like this is like my current situation right now.
Your current situation.
My current situation right now. So there's this guy that's on my tail. I want to date you. I said, hey. I even told him.
Before that, you, Nankasa, like, have you ever existed without anyone being on your tail before?
Honestly, I don't think so.
It's like a train. It's always moving.
I don't think so. But
If there is no Kia Bongo parked, you keep moving. Okay.
But I like it when I tell a guy, Charlie, I'm not interested, and he.
You like it. You like the feeling.
No, I like it when I tell you that I'm not interested, and you accept, and like you respect yourself, and you don't.
I thought you were trying to say you find delight in rejecting people. Because I know people that do that. No. Yeah, I know people that do that.
I mean, it depends. If you're not
it
what
just
I'm looking
excites
for.
them. It just excites them, but they'll say, no, I don't like you. Even if they like you.
That can actually be another form of buy, but whatever the buy is, I don't know.
Anyway, so you were telling me about this guy on your tail.
So this guy keeps calling. I actually saved his number because before we were talking.
Okay.
Not talking as we want to
I
do
get it.
anything. Like you just met somebody, you know.
Have conversations.
Then some kind of comments he was passing on my status, you know, replying. I just deleted his number quick. But I just know that if the number, initially I didn't recognize the number. So the number kept calling and I don't like to pick unknown numbers. So the way it came, it kept being consistent. I decided to just pick up one time. I picked up and it was the same person I was trying to avoid. Oh, and why don't you? So a little voice in my head tells me, relax, don't be rude, be nice with him. I'm like, okay, what's up? Oh, I'm checking up on you. And know the silly, not that it's silly, but you know some questions when they are coming from people you don't like, it becomes very annoying.
Yeah.
What are you
The
doing?
slightest of questions.
What
when
are you
don't
doing?
Like someone,
Have
just,
you eaten?
Just,
what did you eat? What are you doing tomorrow? I say, what I'm doing tomorrow, they're home. Not that I said it, but I'm like,
yeah, I know.
And suddenly he appears, he shows up at the office. I'm here, I'm on my way home. I decided to pass by. And I was like, okay, give me 5 minutes, I'll be there. I come down, so it's like, you know, I don't want to waste time with saying anything, but I really like you. I want to date you. I say, yeah.
Yeah, but sure.
Hey, I said, look, I'm a mother of two. Oh, and you look like this. Oh, then I'm not backing down. I say, hey.
Hey, why am I looking like a kufadu?
And you
hey,
see,
I can be a good actor. Anyway, let me hear you.
Kofi. So I tell this guy that, look, I don't like you. Leave me alone. Was he onto that?
Yeah.
And he even told me that when he gets home, he'll call me. I said, don't call me. I'll block your line. He says, I'll call. And he didn't even get home. Oh, he started calling.
Yeah.
Then when I got home, I saw him calling again. So I was like, okay, let me just pick this one up. Are you home already? Have you eaten? Are you okay? I can't so baby have I pupu nasa. And you see, these are the things. I actually think that these kind of things trigger women to also now start thinking about certain things. With the way he's actually coming at me, I feel like this guy is on to deceive me, really.
Oh, well, it's not always the case.
Yes, it may not be the case,
It's
actually.
not always the case.
But that's how I
think you
feel.
might have to give the person a chance.
Oh, but this one, no.
But I also think that
He has the same name with somebody that I don't want to associate myself
that's
with.
unfair.
No, and even
That's
no,
unfair.
even his charisma, how he carries himself. I'm like,
Yeah, you just don't like the guy. And I think once you made it clear to him that you didn't like him, he really...
he leave.
But you see...
Obey say, I know my career, so now the yes, no, now it is now going to be his torture.
Yeah, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
you see, look, I don't know about you, but maybe you should put yourself in people's shoes. I'm not saying this is a justification of how they pursue you, right? But can you imagine yourself wanting someone and they not wanting you back?
Oh, I've been there.
You've been there, right?
Yeah.
It's very painful.
Very painful.
So, I would tell you, there have been women on my tail as well.
Yeah.
Like quite a number of them.
I've seen them.
And I don't know if I have been doing the right thing. Because like I rightly told you, I am unable to just say, no, I don't want you. I feel like it is disrespectful to the woman because like I rightly said earlier, I believe it takes a lot of courage for a woman to defy all the odds in our society to come to you and say, I like you. But I think women should also understand that just as women don't accept just any man, men can't also accept just any woman. So, this is like me giving out my secret. But to be very honest, even the people in my lives, I don't always pick their calls. I can't always pick their calls. So if you are someone that is pursuing me, then best believe that your experience might be worse. Because the people we are there with themselves, I know they pick them calls. So I know you are coming to disturb me. So maybe I will not pick up. You understand? But I feel their pain Like they want me. Oh God, this person wants me, but I don't want them back. What can I do? I can't do anything.
But you know, some
Mimpel.
people, even when you take your time with letting them understand that I don't feel the same way about you, they still want to be stubborn and still pursue.
It's not their fault.
Look, I was telling you that I have been there.
It's
But
not
me,
their fault.
I can easily take a no.
Sometimes you will win. I don't know why I am being baptized with the spirit of Prezo, but you know he contested in 2008. He contested in 2012. And he won in 2016. So sometimes it can take you 12 years. So that is why a man or a woman will be on your tail and will never stop until they get you or they have you.
And oftentimes these people, when they finally get you and they get what they're looking for, some majority of them misbehave.
Because you punished them.
But what if I wasn't even ready? Maybe at the time
so-
I wasn't interested.
Yeah. So why did you...
But I've told you no, and you're gone, you're back again. No, you're gone, you're back again.
So
no.
it was pity love?
That is what I'm
I
saying.
will not do that.
A lot of times women are forced to actually do that.
And they can,
Yes.
and they can actually kiss someone that they don't like.
Please.
I'm not doing
so
that.
Far as this is 21st century. So far as I look at you, on a normal day, if everything was fine, and I'm not thinking about someone to pay my bills, and I'm just looking for who would give me the comfort, be there for me and all of that. Sometimes it's not even sometimes, it's not every man that I'll say a yes to. But I look at you, you're nowhere close to the kind of person I want. But I know that you have what I need. I can't know at all because the first instant, no, I don't want. But later I realized that no.
You can provide a certain...
You can actually do this, do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you come again, I'll say yes.
Okay.
And the yes you are saying right now is purely transactional in my head.
Okay, but
maybe you will have a very clear, conscience, a clear mind that I really like this girl, I want to.
Yeah.
But me, I'm not like that. And the woman can actually be with you for that long.
Yeah, I think...
And will still not have the feeling for you. It will never develop.
That's true. I hate to admit, but yeah, I think women are special creatures with the way God made them. I think so. I don't know if it's women. I think there are people just made like that. I retract. I don't think it's women. I think human beings are special.
Yeah.
Like for someone to be able to be with you and still have an ulterior motive. But I wanted to find out something from you. Do you actually foresee, do you calculate ahead how difficult it would be when you want out of that relationship that initially you didn't want?
Yeah.
And how does it often look like?
You know that where this person... Well, I have actually been in such before. I wouldn't call it a relationship because I never said yes to this guy.
Yeah.
But he was there. Oh, when you were sending Momo. Hey, me too. I did things in school, pal.
You have my Momo number.
Huh?
You have...
But I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, so I think that sometimes when you calculate...
It took... Look, let me just say this. This guy can come to my house and we have to chase him with a cutlass, go out. Like, it was that bad.
Oh, Charlie.
No, it was that bad. Like, I was it was that bad.
But I've actually also heard success stories, from people where
who
they
kept
had to
chasing.
chase and eventually got it. And it was like one of the sweetest stories ever.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
That
So
right now, my issue is, how do you differentiate the bad from the good? Because sometimes
I think
the people...
I think time does the magic.
And it's the same time that people also allow themselves with, and then they still show them shaggy.
Charlie, life is a winning... it's a win and loss situation.
You hear, just like somebody put in the comment, that people marry for 25 years and one morning they're like, look, it's not working.
Yeah. Well, they don't just wake up. It's just because they put up with certain things for a very long time, and one night they feel like, I've had enough. For all you know, they have been communicating their problems or their differences to their partners, and their partners think like, oh, we can make it work, so stay. Or They have been communicating it in different ways, not necessarily through talk or dialogue, and their partners have failed to, see the signs or something like that. And so they wake up one day, they are suffocating, so they don't want to continue again. There is
Right.
also that, but I feel like if you don't want something, you must be bold enough to say it. But not to run away from what I was saying initially. I think time does the magic. When you meet people, I strongly believe in working out relationships for a long time because I'd rather get married to someone that I have known for a good number of years, than get married to a stranger. But that is also not to say that the ones that you always know from time
Will always be
immemorial
the
will
best
always be the
partners
best.
for you.
So look, life is, I think we all know this phenomenon. Life is 50-50. Like you win some and you lose some. You might be lucky because we are humans. We are not gods. So we can't foretell the future. And you cannot, you can't say what's going to happen next. I'm sure today, of course, you were going to see me at work, but what if I disappointed you in the long run?
Yeah.
You couldn't have told that in the morning when we had a conversation.
Yeah.
And it's the same with relationships. But of course, there are peculiar things that you have to look out for. I was about to say honesty, but Charlie, some people can really lie.
And then you believe it as though
it was
it's
the
the
truth.
truth.
Yeah. So I think time does the magic. When you meet people, you get to know them, roll with them. I was having this conversation with a friend. I think when you go into any relationship or when you start a friendship with a relationship in mind, it doesn't work.
Really?
That's what I think. Maybe it's from my experience, but that's what I think. I think that if I see you, Maya, and I feel like, give them a penal, then I go like, okay, but before we start a relationship, let me get to know her. Bro, you are kidding. I think that I'm just lying to myself because the bottom line is me pal. But if we meet by accident and we become friends, and during the friendship, we find out that, I think I like this girl more than just friends. And so we begin to date. For me, I think that works better than coming in with the intention of having
want
a
to date you.
relationship or dating you, but I want to start with friends. Charlie, what's up? Like, you understand?
Yeah.
So I think that time really does the magic. If you give everything time and you keep your eyes on the ground,
I think that's very true.
you'd find
Because
out something.
my best relationship grew out of friendship. But the one that was like, hey, I've seen this girl, I like you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, they
blah,
get
blah,
what
blah.
they want, and
Oh, no, not even that. I mean, we could actually go for years, but it gets to a point and I'm like, no,
yeah, because there's no friendship.
no.
But sometimes
There's actually, you build it. You build it. You get used to each other, but
Yeah.
you realize that no, we're not compatible enough.
yeah,
There'll be this little thing that you feel like, no, we're working it, but it's not working.
not working.
It's not working.
But
So we
you,
just
you
have
know,
to
but
let
you
it
know,
go.
even also the relationships that you have, the relationships that are born out of friendships, do not also always
end well. Yeah.
I don't think there is a one all
Because
formula.
the times where people
Sometimes-
say we're better off as friends even than being a boyfriend
Charlie.
girlfriend.
Yeah, because it's painful. I mean, how do you relegate someone from a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a fiance into becoming
Oh, but
friends?
you know there are times where you meet an ex from say 5 years ago, and it not that is your intention that we are going to be friends again, but one way or the other you know that
It's
you're
for
going to
old
call
time-
her every
it's-
single
yeah, it's
day.
for old time's
But
sake.
once a while, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Like you meet
It
somewhere.
depends.
and
It
you
depends.
don't-
But anyway, I don't think that's the focus of the conversation.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
so-
not.
Yeah. So
Kofi or Kofi.
So back to the conversation. So I really think that people do change because in our natural state, our tastes change.
Yeah.
Even for, like you mentioned, the 25-year-old couple and stuff, your tastes will change. You will meet people. Unless you're living on an island with your wife or your girlfriend, then you don't see anything new. But if you meet new people and you get exposed to new things, your tastes also change.
So, with regard to your taste changing, don't you think self-discipline can help you not to,
To sway away.
to sway away and
Okay.
maybe
You don't necessarily, I think that you don't necessarily have to sway away. What I think is you have to take your partner on that journey with you. But
Right.
sometimes they will not come with you.
maybe because you haven't made them understood
No,
what exactly
there are people
is.
people who just don't like what you are on. So you might have to go on without them. And when that happens, that's when the disconnect begins. And then now they think, oh, maybe he's
Wartsandall.
yes.
I don't even know who you are again.
Yeah, I don't even know who you are again. Meanwhile, you don't expect me. Even I am not the same person I was
10, 5, 30
10
years
5
ago.
last year. Nah, we see things like, you understand. Like, for example, now I am learning how to swim. It's something that I've always wanted to do. Always. Like, my best part of this world is the beach. I want to sit by the shore and just look far away where it looks like the sky touches
Yeah.
the sea. And it takes me out of this world. And I think about so many things. I love the sea. I want to be able to swim. It's something that I've always loved, right? And then you go and have conversations with perhaps your colleagues at work about swimming. And someone just mentions, oh, I know a tutor. I can connect you to him. And then I just, okay, fine. I'll go and start. Right? So now you see me driving from wherever I live to wherever the tutor is to learn. And maybe your partner or my partner might not understand. Hey, what has he seen? That you drive all the way from here to go and swim. Tastes do change. If I tell you, my partner, that, oh, I'm learning how to swim, can we go together so that you can also swim? And they say they don't want to swim, what's going to happen? Now the swimming is going to be the point of fight.
But in this case, then there comes the word compromise, right?
Yes. Compromising is very important, but then again, it boils down to whether the person really wants to compromise. Because if the person does not want to compromise,
Yeah.
but that's why I'm saying that true love is
But what at all is that true love?
I don't think there's a definition to it, but I think it's a
Because I
feeling.
actually think it is a conscious effort to keep that flame burning. That thing called love. Because even if
A
you say
conscious
I
effort to
feel,
keep it burning?
I feel something for you, which I think is true love. Like I want to go all out for you, blah blah blah.
I mean, if
Regardless,
you're not,
you still need to work on that.
I agree partly. Even if I am not working on that, for me, it might not die. The only thing that might make that flame, that love go away or that flame die is when you are doing stuff to quench it. You understand where I'm coming
Yeah.
from? That's when you are doing stuff to quench it. Like if you have a big candle and you light it up, of course, over a period of time, it would die off, right? But in most cases, if it is huge enough, it would burn for a very long time, right?
Yeah.
Until the wind blows or until you blow it out. That's how love works for me. So if you don't do anything to quench it, and by that I mean if I'm coming up with ideas about things that we can do together and how to blossom in our relationship, and you are not responding positively, Charlie, I will
Yeah.
lose the love because I'm not excited.
Yeah.
And so that's why I said I agree with you partly, because that's when the consciousness of working towards growing whatever love that you have comes in. Because I'm looking for ways that can excite the both of us, and you are not buying into it. So at a point, I'll get frustrated and I have to stop. So now you have to go on your dates alone with your friends, and I also have to go on my dates alone with my friends or people that are like-minded. So yes, I agree that it takes conscious effort to maintain and to grow the love. But one thing is for sure, true love doesn't really die out like that. I don't think so. Unless it was some form of an infatuation, but else it doesn't really die out like that. Because you see, the thing that makes you love someone it's not in a textbook. It's a feeling that you get. And it's not something that they did. Sometimes you meet people and you feel like you really like them. Not for anything. You understand?
I cannot relate, but yeah.
Really? Well, yeah, it happens.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's because of the way I see things or something, because it really takes me a while. I can meet you, we have conversations, I like you, I like your vibe, but it would take me time to feel that thing called love, because I'm considering a lot of things.
Yeah.
Your attitude, even your background. I want to be sure that
You can think about things. So me, I don't think about those things. So.
As for me, I do.
I deal a lot with energies.
No, I mean, we can be vibing, but if there are some things I'm not, I know they see top, like, nah. I think I consider too much or a lot of things.
I think it's good to be precautious, but a little too much is also not really good.
Yeah.
A little too much is also not really good. But yeah, back to the main conversation. Honestly, Charlie, look, people are going to change. Change is the only constant in life.
Yeah.
Change is the only constant in life. People will change for the better or for worse.
The worse.
So it is left with you, the partner, to also adjust or have a sit-down talk with the person and compromise. You cannot expect that I will be the same person that I was 5 years ago today.
Right.
So won't you be bored? Won't you be bored?
I will.
The same thing every day. So like
everyday missionary. Papa, let's do something else.
Do doggy. They say they have Spider-Man or something like that. Hey! Do Spider-Man.
What does that look like?
I don't know. I heard it. I don't know.
Kofi.
Me, it's only two that I know.
Which one?
Missionary and doggy. Those are the two that I know. Asa, what else do you want to do? Me, I didn't like people.
What?
I didn't like PE, physical education, primary school. Now I come to do Spider-Man. My guy send me acrobatics. So yeah. So I think that's just it. So you have to be ready for people changing. I mean, when people change a lot as well, it's also injects some sort of instability into the relationship.
Yeah.
And that is also not good. So I think it's about finding the balance. Yeah, you will change, but how often do you change? And when you're changing, how do you go about it? Do you just expect your partner to just accept it because you have changed? So yeah, I've changed, so you to change. No, it doesn't happen like that. It means that Charlie, you said you're not. Yeah, you don't care. You don't care about what the other person thinks about. So yeah, the men will come in, the women will come in. Expects that they are going to change. They won't be the same. Like we rightly said, after votes, after election, no campaign. So
I still don't agree on that one.
Well, but it's the truth. Do you still campaign for votes?
This is not an election
I think it's the same thing, and I will explain. Right. So after election, there's no campaign. But it doesn't mean that you have to mess up, because you might need the votes again. So now, during your tenure of office, it is left with you to do things that can make me comfortable. Maybe not to impress me, but to make me comfortable because I gave you my vote out of respect. Does it make sense?
This is where you're making sense to me now. I say election.
No,
but
I won't campaign.
People actually misuse that. But even when we talk about you campaigning after elections, not necessarily that you have to come and out toast me again or whatever.
Exactly. You don't.
But there's certain things that you should keep it going.
Yeah, you have to keep it going because because you told me that you're going to make me happy.
So a man calls
I like Ochiame Kwame's song with Raquel. Wara na okayo.
The
Nije
voice
da
is not good.
prechia obebra ko faba. Nenso afe na ebaya. Insuo keke na etui na you understand? So yeah, you campaigned that insuo to nije da prechia obe sumia ko faba.
Yeah.
Insuo to keke udwane. No. You have to make sure that insuo to obe my umbrella. Say can I be my you have to do that for me to feel comfortable. So yes, I have campaigned for your love. You've given me your votes. Now you are in my territory.
like I was
but it
talking
doesn't mean
about
that
the
I have
time.
to maltreat you. I have to honor my promise of making you happy forever.
And if making me happy means making time for me, why do they have to tell me that I am busy? So 3-4 days, no text, no call. But at the time you were pursuing me, your schedule has not changed though.
Yeah, because I was campaigning. I wasn't doing
schedule
any
has
other
not
thing. I was
changed.
campaigning. That one I was campaigning. I wasn't doing it. But now we have finished campaign, so I have to get back to work. So that one day. But you two, you have to understand that
That is
I won't have
why-
the same level of
No,
space to give you.
that is it. But when you come and tell me I can always make time for you, so anytime you need
That
me.
is called campaign.
Hey!
That is the campaign. The campaign, you have to yob.
Sir?
You have to
Okay.
yob. But you have to
Okay.
stay true. Else you will be like a government that doesn't honor its promise. You have to be able
It's like
to.
you have issues with the government, because but now hey, what can government say?
Doom son and hard drink. Like right now with the record, if they quench lights, the
That
card
be
self
all.
goes spoil. You understand? So no, but I don't have anything against the government. No, not at all. I don't even talk politics. I don't even know why today I'm being Maybe it's because we're having a conversation about Doomso prior to this conversation.
yeah.
I think that's just it. Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's time for us to wrap up. Our time is actually up.
All right.
And just like we're saying, time, we need to give it time. So I'll be giving people time to see. The only challenge I have, which I'm sure that every other person has, is the fact that even with time, people will still lie to us. So right now, let's now go and pray for spiritual counseling. We need discernment spirit.
Yeah.
To know that this person is not lying to
Yeah.
me. Because, those who even come with the lies come so polished.
I mean, I think life is unfair. It's cool to pray for discernment to know who is telling lies and not. Well, maybe the person is not telling lies. But when you pray, does God tell you what the person will be in 20 years?
Oh, you get the sick now.
Yeah, but
Yes,
even
we're cool.
but even you, do you know what you're going to do in the next 20 years? Sometimes
I don't know
sometimes
what I'm going to do in the
I
next
always
20
say that
years.
I always say that we must be fair to people, because sometimes until you experience something, you don't know what you are going to do.
Yeah.
Like if I tell you, would you love me forever? Or if you ask me, will I love you forever? I'm like, yeah, I will love you forever. Right?
And when the forever
And
comes.
in 20 years, would you still love me?
Then
I
what
can't
he's
tell
saying,
you, but I can't tell you, Maya. Let's be honest. I can't tell you because when I'm in young child, so I don't know how I will feel about it. Oh, I'm being honest.
But I said, who will be an entire child? Would you want to be there?
It depends. It depends. That's why I'm saying true love. And you see, I'm saying true love because if, for example, right, if my dad loses his leg, my love for him is even going to multiply. That's true love.
Right.
That is true love. Someone might say, yeah, we're not talking about that kind of love. We're talking about romantic love. But that's why you must love the person truly. The sex is an add-on.
Yeah.
Do you love them? Openasem. Yanka epeu. Openasem. Do you love the person? If you truly love the person, if they lose any part of their body, you
And you
continue
still
to
love
love
them.
them.
That's true.
But before that, if you ask me that, will I continue to love you?
So that's why I'm saying that I need to be sure that I love you to that extent that if anything like that
And I'm saying
happens,
that it's not always that you can tell because you don't even know.
No, I'm not saying that I should be able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is that I should be able to believe in that love I'm feeling for you.
Oh, that.
To know that even if those things happen. I can still be there.
I was going to ask you if what you would do if you made $100 million, right? You know, there is this perception that money controls people, and people say, "Oh, I won't let money change."
It doesn't
me, blah, blah.
Control anybody.
Hey,
That's
bro.
it. Just brings out the real. In fact, it multiplies the Homer Swan.
So you see,
yeah.
but do you know your level of a homaswa now?
No.
Until you make that money.
Oh, but I know that I am a Homer Swan, but I know that the money comes to double. I remember I told someone, look, now that I don't have money, you see that me. If you say one, I'll say three.
Yeah.
So know that if I can.
I'll say 10. Yeah. So I think that's
Because
that's
I'm like,
just-
hey, my friend, keep quiet. I can buy the shoe you're wearing.
Yeah, so I think people's tastes change. Let's be fair to them.
Yeah.
Even the people that genuinely love you will also change.
Yeah.
The level of change is what matters. The level of change with someone that loves you truly, genuinely, is obviously different from the level of change that someone who is in for a short period also will be like. Like, they are two different kind of changes. But one thing is, people will always change. And sometimes the circumstances lead to those changes. So let's not be too hard on people, especially those that love us. And let's not expect them to be what they always are. It is left with us to find out the things that are making them change. But if they are changing just for changing's sake, then it's because they just wanted the sex, or they just wanted something from you and they've gotten it and they are done. So they need to carry on.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right. I've actually had a good time.
I have to.
Yeah.
Except that my leg is hurting.
Who asked you to hang your legs?
I mean, I'm doing like to send me a big man, and now, hey, man.
Wish now, Becca. Who sent you?
I was just trying to be a guy, a G, but me, I mean,
Oh, but you now you be
me
G,
name's
so
almost cross here. At this point,
you give up.
I give up. I can't do it again.
But wow, it's actually been a very interesting conversation
Yeah,
with
I'd
you.
love to come again though. So find another topic.
We will.
Yeah.
There's one that I actually wanted to discuss, but I remember you telling me in the morning that, Charlie, slow down, give me. So I'm slowing down.
Yeah, slow down. Slow down.
I'm slowing. But hey, thank you also so much for staying and listening. And I'm sure that you've learned one or two things. Even if you did not learn anything, let me just say this again. Change is constant.
Yeah.
And so know that everybody will change. So just make up your mind, prepare yourself, brace yourself. And for us that believe in the spirituality, keep on praying for spirits of descendants. So here's where we close the curtains on today's episode on What's and All. I'll see you another time.